Hello and welcome back to another tier list video. It's been about it's been a while since we've actually done one of these, and not a whole lot has changed, but I figured if no one wants to do VODs right now, I might as well just help people out and make sure that everyone knows what the meta is. Now, this is for strictly ladder purposes, so the list might look a little different than what it was a few years, or about a year ago, because the way I used to do things is I used to just do it by whatever my team was playing in a scrim setting, but now I'm going to try to look at it in more of a ladder sense, because I think that's what most people care about currently within Overwatch, because the whole team circuit it's getting thinner every day. So I'm going to talk about ladder here. It's still going to be correlated a lot with kind of what the team play wants to go with, but tank compositions are what's going to be affected the most, and maybe some support picks as well. But all right, let's get right into this, and let's start with Ana. I'm going to have to put Ana in a weird spot, and I can't really move my camera because I think this is fine. You guys can still see it for me. Ana's in a weird spot. I think she's A tier. I think Ana's A tier because the thing is that Zen is just better. I mean, Zen. I'm just gonna say it now. Zen is definitely S tier. I'm gonna skip to the end of that because Zen does a lot of damage, and with the ball comps, he's very, very strong, especially with Hog as well. The thing is, because Hog is really strong, I could maybe see someone saying that Ana is good because you can just play to counter the Hog completely. So I'm honestly Ana's in a decent spot, but not for a good reason. Like, she's still pretty underpowered. I might actually put her in like B tier. I might put her low A tier, high B tier. Just because I think BAP, which we'll get up to, is better is more versatile with more comps. But I think Ana is definitely doing better than what she has in metas past, especially with double shield. Ashe has got to be an S tier, maybe high A tier, low S tier. I think Ashe is just one of those meta characters that's really good no matter the map you're on. Even if you want to run Brig, I think Ashe is still incredibly strong. Maybe not too strong, but I'll probably move her down when we start talking about Echo and Tracer. So maybe she's high A tier. Kind of where BAP is right now. I think BAP's a little bit in the mid A tier, just because I think ball comps kind of mess them up. But if you do want to run an Orisa D.Va composition, I think Baptiste is totally fine. The Orisa D.Va composition's the counter currently to that ball composition if you don't want to run it yourself. So like maybe you could warrant that BAP is good because of that in ladder, but it's been a little bit since I've seen BAP really strong. But what I have to say is BAP is still within the top 50, so obviously he's doing well in ladder, and he's going to do well in all ranks. If you need to climb, you play Baptiste. I think Bastion's honestly a C in ladder. In ladder, I think Bastion is low-key a C or a B tier pick because it's a complete IQ check to the ball comps that are really strong right now. I might actually put him B tier just because I think in ladder, if you pull him out, he might just work. No, I'll go C tier because B tier, not everyone's going to be on the same page, but I think Bastion's actually really good to counter that. That whole composition in general, I think is really strong. To maybe counter pick and make people think. Definitely a lower ELO, as I think Bastion will succeed. And that's kind of like how his character works already. So, anyways, let's move on to Brigitte here. I mean, I had to do it. Brig is still the most oppressive character in this game, and there's a lot of things that could be changed about her kit and other players' kit or other characters' kits to make it a little bit more balanced. But yeah, Brig is just need I say more? We'll say more when we get to the other supports. Doomfist we're actually gonna save for the end because he's a whole can of worms. D.Va easily S tier. I wouldn't say it's as good as Brig, but if you have a D.Va on your team, you're doing great. Because the thing is with D.Va is that D.Va's in the Orisa D.Va composition, in the ball D.Va compositions. Those two compositions that are meta right now that are on the top of the ladder. I mean, they both need D.Va. Therefore, D.Va's going to be the best tank. Honestly, in ladder for the best carry potential, I might actually put D.Va above Brig in terms of power levels. I think that's giving everyone the wrong idea. So that's why I'm going to put D.Va below Brig, but I still think D.Va is absolute S tier insane right now. Same thing kind of goes with Echo. I think she's low S tier. The thing is that people are still complaining that Mercy Echo is kind of oppressive. In ladder, I can kind of see that. In terms of a scrim setting, definitely not. I still think that Echo is still very strong and viable, and you're going to see her in a team play. In team play, I think her and Ashe kind of switch spots. In a ladder scenario, I think with all the hit scan nerfs with the experimental card and just kind of where hit scan is right now, if the Echo player is good and the lobby's a little unbalanced, which is currently what's happening a lot because not a lot of people are playing anymore, they're waiting for Overwatch 2, Echo does kind of just clean up lobbies easily like that. Now, you'd think Genji would be really good, but I think he might be honestly high D tier, low C tier. I think I think in lower elos, Genji's going to be really good because Nanoblade can just, I mean, clean people up. They're not going to be ready to kind of deal with that. The problem is that there's just so many other characters that are just better than Genji right now. And he might move to D tier, but we're going to keep him at a low C tier right now. Hanzo's kind of in the same boat as Ashe. He kind of functions in that Orisa Diva composition as like a ball destroyer, the ball breaker. I don't know, that sounds a little sus, but you get what I'm trying to say here. I mean, you use a Storm Arrow and the ball's pretty much toast if the Brig can stun him in time. And I think Hanzo overall right now is just a good sniper pick. Because the thing is that we're not really looking for picks right now. We're looking for burst potential or mobility right now because Bala is kind of he's defining the pace of each and every game. So you have to find characters that kind of complement or destroy that kind of playstyle. Junkrat easily a D tier. There's really nothing going on for Junkrat right now. And I mean, shout out to Aquamarine. I don't even know if he's still playing. I haven't watched one of his streams in a while, but if he is, the more power to him. And I mean, Junkrat and Lucio, they're kind of in the same tier. Why play Lucio when you can just play Brig? I mean, maybe what I could say is Lucio is a C tier, but the thing is, this is ladder. Because the thing is, Lucio, you can run Brawl sometimes. Maybe I do put him C tier, honestly. I think I will put him C tier. The thing is, like, maybe you run Brawl sometimes in, like, King's Row, but besides that, you just shouldn't be running that character. To be completely honest with you. Cassidy, I don't know if I want to put A tier. I mean, I think Cassidy's really, really strong right now. I think low A tier is a good place for Cassidy. I don't think he's as good as he was before, but he has a lot of survivability, and you can insta-lock him, and it would still be a really solid pick. Like, I'm not mad if I see a Cassidy on my team. I'd just rather see a Tracer Ashe or something like that. I might move him down to B tier, but in terms of ladder, I think he's A tier. In terms of team play, I would probably put it B tier because he's just not as solid. But I think a low E tier it's pretty generous for ladder, and I think honestly it might not even be generous. It might just be right. May I'm gonna kind of put in a Bastion scenario where if you're good at May, maybe you can kind of IQ check them. Besides that, it's not super great for ladder. It's just the mobility is too fast. May can't really catch up with it. Usually I'd put Mercy at D tier for this meta, because why wouldn't you just run Brig? The thing is that Mercy and ladder, actually I'm probably going to give it a high D tier, or high C tier, rather, sorry. And I might move Lucio down actually to a D tier. I think that Mercy is, actually no, because we're going to get to Moira here, so sorry about that. I think Mercy is good if you're going to pocket an Ashe or an Echo. But besides that, I still think Brig is just the better pick in every scenario. I mean, Brig does it all. Even in team play, you're never going to run Mercy. Mercy is probably the worst character in team play. You're just never going to run her. She needs something, or Brig... I don't think it's that she needs something. I think Brig needs less. I think that's the consensus that everyone has gone to. But the Zen Brig debate is still pretty heated because a lot of people think Zen's the problem, which I can kind of understand, but I might make a video about that. So if you do want to hear why I think that Zen Brig is really busted, let me know in the comments down below, because I'd be more than willing to kind of approach that concept and kind of give you guys my opinion on it. But I only want to do that if you guys are interested in that concept. So let's keep moving on here. Moira in ladder actually probably takes the cake for the worst support. I think she's good survivability wise, but just be good and play Zen, you know? That's all I got for you. I think Orisa, compared to other tanks right now, solid B tier. I think she's good in niche situations, but the niche situations pop up more often than not, making it a B tier and not a C tier. Because if you want to run Orisa, you can just run Orisa Diva, and that's totally fine. It's a different composition. I don't think it's as popular, but it's not bad by any means, and I think she's a very strong pick, not quite strong enough for A tier. Pharah is kind of in that niche as well. I'm honestly going to put Pharah with the Mercy. The thing is with Pharah is that she needs Mercy because she's not as mobile as Echo and can't evade that much damage, and she needs to get... The Mercy just does a lot better with the Pharah in terms of supporting it rather than Echo. Even though it does support it a lot, I think that the Pharah almost needs the Mercy to succeed, because I've never really seen Pharah do well with Brig, because Pharah doesn't have all that speed, mobility that Brig really provides, or that Brig can heal for that. Pharah needs more sustained healing without forcing someone else's utility away from Brig. Mercy does that job perfectly. Reaper might be another one of those kind of... he's kind of one of those iffy picks, You might want to run him on King's Row, but besides that, he's not really going to be doing too well. Ryan's kind of in the same boat. I think Ryan might be one of the worst. He probably is the worst tank right now, to be honest. I just think he has his map, and that's about it. King's Row, and maybe another Brawl map, but other than that, in ladder, he's not really doing too hot. But the king of ladder right now, has got to be Roadhog. The thing is, I don't know if I want to put him quite S tier. I think I'm going to put him high A tier in terms of ladder. In terms of team play, this character still sucks. But ladder right now, with how crazy it is, and there's no shield to block people that are dumb, Hog really excels right now. I'm struggling to put him between S or A tier. I think I'm going to put him low S tier, and then I'm going to put the ball A tier. And I know I'm skipping around a lot. The thing is with ball is that you need a lot of coordination with your team to really get it done. So if you want to duo with someone on ball, I think Ball takes this list to the top. Ball is one of the best characters right now in the game. Not because he's busted, but because the characters that surround him are really good right now. But in terms of ladder, I think Hog, with the depreciation of skill that has gone across the entire ladder at the highest ranks, I think that Hog just does better. And Hog has always just done better at lower elos because you don't really have to worry about what your team is doing. You're not trying to set your team up, you're just trying to set yourself up. Meanwhile, with Ball, you're trying to set your team up and set your Tracer and Echo and Zen and Brig up to do damage and make it easier for them to get to positions they need to get to. Hog just does it on his own. So in terms of a ladder list, which we've never done before, this is the first time we've actually done it today, I think Ball just does better. And I think everyone can kind of, or not Ball, Hog just does better. And I think everyone can kind of agree with that in terms of like how we've seen the meta shift over time. Sigma I'm going to put top C tier just because I've seen it. I just don't think it's very good. Zarya is kind of in the same boat. I think Zarya Ball is super, super good. I don't know if I quite want to say that it's B tier. I do need to put more things in B tier, so we might move some things around, but honestly, maybe not, because the meta right now kind of reflects that. Like, there's very good characters, and there's also a lot of really bad ones that you really don't want to be picking a whole lot. But let's keep moving on here, because we actually have some interesting characters that are going to shake some things up here. Soldier being one of them. I don't think Soldier's super great. I think that Cassidy just is better with living, but Soldier isn't bad either. They're kind of on the same boat, which is why I'm going to put them right next to each other in terms of viability. Sombra's going to kind of be up there. I think she's really, really strong in terms of a team play meta with the Sombra Tracer. I think in ladder, though, it's just way too hard to communicate with everyone, and I don't think everyone's on the same page, quite frankly. This is also reflecting of all ranks. I think Sombra will do great with the weird compositions that are kind of played right now. I just don't think it will excel quite to S tier or quite higher than all these other characters. I think that these other characters, the Ashe and the Hanzo, even within this rank, are going to be more consistent. Symmetra, you kind of just play for teleporters. You're not really going to see Symmetra for anything else. Honestly, I'm going to put Genji D tier. He's just not good compared to other characters. He doesn't even have a niche. I think Symmetra is kind of in the weird niche that, I mean, you teleport, therefore she's getting use every time. These characters really aren't getting use. Torbjorn. He's a Joker pick. He's really good. I think he's slightly better than Hanzo because I personally prefer the Torb in the Orisa D.Va composition just because the Torb's turret really can counter DPS and make it hard for them. The thing is, I don't think I'm going to put it quite above Ashe because at the end of the day, the Ball D.Va comp is better, or anything that's going to help the Hogs kind of be better. Tracer's going to have to be S tier. It's going to have to take the cake here on the list. Honestly, Hog might... I'll keep this right now. You can't really quantify DPS versus tank. It's like apples and oranges currently right now. I think Hog does better just because he's a tank. But in terms of Tracer, she's kind of the king, or the queen rather, of DPS right now. I mean, Tracer's going to be your most consistent pick. It works in literally any composition that's good right now. It's the same idea as D.Va. If you play D.Va, Brig, or D.Va, Brig, and Tracer, honestly, they're probably the top three. Honestly, if you want to play a character that's consistent, and you want to only play one character and one-trick them, the three people you want to one-trick run right now are Brigitte, D.Va, and Tracer. They're always going to have a place in whatever comp you're playing in. So, if you got one thing away from this video, that's what you should probably take away from this. Widowmaker's kind of going to be on that low-tier grind, but she actually, honestly, for the ladder, I don't think I can ever put her below B tier. I think she's always going to be low B tier. If the enemy team is kind of not that great, especially when there's no shields. Maybe if you're cracked out, you can get a pick or two. In terms of team play, though, I think she's one of the worst in the game. Winston... Winston, I'm going to have to put C tier. I might move Sigma up 1, just because Sigma Hog is kind of decent, and since Hog has run a lot, maybe Sigma can go B tier. I think he actually gets a little bit more valuability, but Winston isn't necessarily bad either. He's just really niche, and I think Ball's better. Like, maybe Numbani, you run a Winston, but that's kind of the only place you're running for it. And a lot of these characters, we kind of went over that. Like, you could use it, it's weird, but it's not the worst ever, which is D tier, which is like, I'm never going to see this. Doomfist is kind of in those weird niches too, but the thing is, since Cassidy is still really strong, since Echo is really strong, since Brig is really strong, it's really hard to find value, especially since the way that these compositions play right now aren't really too great for Doom. That being said, I don't want to say it's quite a throw pick. I'm just going to have to put it above the... I might put it here, because if you... kind of along with the Zarya. I mean, if you want to play the Doomfist with the Zarya, I could kind of see where you're going with it. It's really difficult to advocate for Doomfist when all these other great DPS are on the lineup right now. I mean, you have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 DPS that are at the top of their game. I mean, that's really hard to beat, at least as a DPS. There's not a whole lot of room. But, yeah, this is my ladder tier list for, what is it, February 21st of 2022. This is what I have for you guys. I mean, not a whole lot has changed since August other than the quality of players kind of going down because the game has gotten no content since August. Yeah, it's been like half a year. That is scary. But anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like, let me know in the comments down below, and maybe subscribe if you're new around here. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4 p.m. EST, but I actually might be streaming at the time that this video goes live, because Destiny 2's expansion just came out, and I kind of grew up on that game. So if you want to see that, let me know, or just go to the Twitch link that's in the description, and if I'm not live, I mean, just give it a follow. I might be streaming later than usual, but that's all I've got for you guys today. But until next time, I've got to peace out and pass out. See you in the next one.